Okay, here we have the same quotients or the same division problem, but we're going to solve it two different ways. Let's do it first the traditional way. We have how many 4s are in 5? Well, we have 1 4 in 5, so we can do that and place the 4 there and subtract, and we have 1 and bring down the 1. Okay, now we have 11. How many 4s in 11? 2. Okay, and that makes it, let's see, it's 8. And then we subtract, and we have 3. And now we have 6 down here. How many 4s in 36? Don't forget to put the decimal there, okay, because the decimal is right there, so it has to align. So the decimal will go right there. So how many 4s in 36? If you said 9, you are correct. So there's 36. Okay, and we have now 0 at the bottom. So our answer is 12.9. Okay, let's try working with this one right over here. Please pause the video and do this one using partial quotient. Okay, go ahead, pause the video. Okay, for partial quotient, we can do how many 4s are in 51? Well, I would do 4 times 10. It would be 40. Okay, I subtract, and I get, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I subtract, and I will get 11.6, right? And then how many 4s in 11.6? I'm going to say 2. Okay, and that gives me the number 8. Now remember, 8 is with the ones. You have to align it with the ones. That's the thing about partial quotient. You have to make sure that over here, because you're adding, you have to add the ones with the tens. Over here, you have to continue to add the ones. Okay, so we have 8.0. Okay, and we subtract. Now 11.6 minus 8 is 3.6. Okay, and that's too low for it to have any kind of any force. It has no force, so our answer is 12 remainder 3.6. Okay, sorry, that's pretty messy. I'll do it again. 12 remainder 3.6. Okay. Okay, now let's work for solving for the value of x. Solving for the value of x can be actually quite simple. Let's say I could say that x is equal to 50 minus 45, right? So really, this is just saying right here that 50 minus 45 is a fancy way of saying this value. 50 minus 45, we all know, is 5. And that's what x is. So x is 5. So if I know that x is 5, what is x squared? Well, x squared, since we already know the value of x, we're saying that x is 5. X squared must be 5 times 5, which equals 25. Okay? Let's see. I could also say that x, I can give you the value of x equals 1/4. Okay? And then I can make an equation where I say 20 times x equals, what would it equal? Well, you already know that x equals 1/4, so you could say x, remember that 1/4, boys and girls, 1/4 is the same as 0.25, or it's the same as 25%. Don't forget that. If I'm multiplying 20 times 1/4, or 25%, I want to know what 25% of 20 is. So really, I just replace the x, and I would write it like this. 20 times, I could write 0.25 equals, and we know that 1/4 of 20 is 5. Okay? So, because we replace the x with the value that we know right here. Okay? Okay, try these three out. A, B, and C. X plus 15 equals 23. 5 times x equals 55. And x to the power of 2, x squared, plus 4 equals 20. What is x in A? What is x in B? And what is x in C. Go ahead and try these out, boys and girls, and then check them with your teacher. So for A, we understand that we first must isolate the variable, and we have to invert the operation. On this side, we have addition. So we must bring it over here and do the opposite, which would be subtraction. So we get rid of it here, because we brought it over, and now our new equation looks like this. X equals, right? X equals 23, minus 15, right? Oh, X equals 8. That's A. B. Isolate the variable again, so we must bring this guy over to the other side. On this side we're multiplying, so on this side we're going to divide. So our new equation will look like this. We take this guy all the way over to this side. So we have X equals 55 divided by 5. Remember, we do the opposite of what we did here. Here we multiply, so on this side we're going to divide, as you see here. So, therefore, X equals 11. C. X squared, we must isolate the X. Okay? So leave it on one side by itself, X squared. Take this plus 4 and invert it to the other side, so it becomes negative. Okay? It becomes the opposite. Here we're adding, over here we must subtract. So it becomes equals 20 minus 4. Okay? So now, what's 20 minus X squared equals 16? Well, what's a number that can multiply into itself, okay, that will give you 16? That, if you guessed X equals 4, you are correct. And for the last question. Okay, boys and girls, try to solve this. Please pause it. Okay, first let's read it, and then I will solve it for you. It costs $50 to be a member of a soccer team. The team plays 8 games during the season. Okay, so there's 8 games, and it costs $50, so you can play all 8 games. What is the cost per game of each game? Circle what you did with the remainder. Did you ignore it? Did you write it down as a fraction or a decimal? Did you round it up to make sure that you have enough? Well, let's see. It's $50 and it's 8 games. Well, clearly 8 is not divisible by 8. It's not going to give 50 is not divisible by 8. It's not going to give you a whole number. So we're going to have a decimal left over. Because we're talking about money, okay, we must include it as a decimal. Okay? Let's try it. 50 divided by 8. Okay. How many 50s are, or how many 8s are in 50? Well, 8 times 6 equals 48, right? I have the 2, put the decimal there, bring down the 0. I have 20. How many 8s are in 20? 2. Which gives me, all right, let me make more room here. Okay, which gives me 16. I subtract, put a 4, bring down another 0. I have 40. How many 8s in 40? 5. 40 equals 0, right? So it looks here like it's $6.25. Each game, out of the 8 games, each game is going to be $6.25. Okay, so please go ahead and copy this right there and let me know what you did. Well, obviously you cannot ignore it because it's part of the cost of each game, the decimal. So you must report the decimal. Why? Well, it's part of the cost of each game, one of the 8 games. Okay, boys and girls, this is a different way of interpreting decimals. Remember that sometimes, for example, the question of the bus. Let's try that one. Not a bus, but I meant picnic tables. Here we go. We did one in class with buses, but now we're going to work with picnic tables. You need to set up benches for a picnic. Each bench seats 7 people. You expect 25 people to attend. how many benches do you need? Well, you have 25 people, and you can only put them in groups of 7. So you must divide it by 7 so you know how many groups you have, or how many benches, how many tables. How many benches? 7 seats. Oh, sit. Okay, so you can have 7, 14, 21. But then you have 4 people left over. What are you going to do about this remainder? Are you going to ignore it? No, you must round up. So technically, 25 divided by 7 is going to give you 3, because 3 times 7 is 21, with a remainder of 4 people. Well, what do we do about this remainder? This remainder is going to make us round up this number. We cannot just have 1, 2, 3 tables. We need to have 4 tables. So this remainder here, boys and girls, is going to make us round up to 4 tables. So we have to round the answer up. 3 benches seats 21 people. 1 more bench is needed for all 25 people. Okay, I hope that clarifies what it means to interpret remainders. All right, boys and girls, I wish you good luck on your test, on your Unit 4 test. Take care.